I think
Hey, girl.
we got A.
You look like you had a whirlwind.
How's it going?
It's going well.
It's going well.
I have talked for this long. I never do that in real life. Had some people in the comments helping me out by asking questions and things like that. So
Good.
it's going pretty good. Hmm.
Awesome sauce. Well, I'm glad that we have an opportunity to get together. I know
Yeah.
that we waited so long to really kind of. I'm playing around with my screen things, but we waited so
Okay.
long to chat. So hopefully, we'll be able to move forward.
Yeah, so I was just talking about some of the recipes that we have done this year. I talked about some of the things that possibly we could do in the future. The last question was about guests, and I talked about a couple of the guests that we've had. I told them about like Portia Kimball and how we had Righteous View come on, and about how our
Oh yeah.
goal is to talk to people about treats, business, and life. And so that encompasses different companies that we have had on. But do you want to
hmm
add anything about guests in
So
the
yeah,
future
you've
and things like
covered. hmm Um, Thank you so much for inviting me. First of all, secondly, um, yeah, I think you've covered a lot of some of the topics that probably I was going to say, but I think what I really want to say for us going forward, first, let me introduce myself. I am Tamala with part co-host or co-host with Taylor on Tamala and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday podcast. And I am owner of Torlitas for that sweet and crunchy taste. And
that? Now you know
if
you do a
anyone,
little more fast.
sure. So if you've been following us on our podcast, I get
Yeah,
right into it. I am Tamla, owner of Torlitas for that sweet and crunchy taste. And
nah, that's
Torlitas
wrong.
is, yeah, it's a dessert company located right here in this great state of Ohio, and we specialize in salty sweet treats. And my claim to fame are my signature blondies, and they are white corn tortilla chips with milk chocolate drizzle, a white chocolate drizzle, and almond toffee pieces. That's where it all began in the year 2000. So, and here we are today.
Right. Here we are, almost a year. I was telling them on December 8th, it'll be like a whole year that we have started Tamla and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Can you
So, did
believe
you say how we came together, how it all began, how we knew nothing about podcasting?
Now, I did say that we met through like a mentorship group. I did not say that we
Mhm.
knew absolutely nothing. And if you go back and look at our first video, you'll see that we knew absolutely nothing about anything
Right.
at all. Right. It was
Nothing.
like,
And we just organically grew.
right. It was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Sure, I'll do a podcast. And we were like, we
Sure.
just found out about this platform, and we was like, let's get on it and talk. And then we got on it and talked, and I was like, who gonna edit this video? This I don't
Right.
know. I don't know
I
any of
don't
this.
know.
And so we edited the video, and after figured that out, about a month later, on January 1st, is when we released our first YouTube video. So this has been quite the learning curve for for
Yeah.
me and for
And
Tamla.
we still are learning as of today,
Right.
this
But
very
we
moment,
we are
even.
consistent in learning. That's what's happening.
Yes,
Consistent.
we are open to learn.
Right. So that's how it all
So,
started.
yeah, so it all started, and I'm glad that we were, organically just joined together to figure it all out. And we didn't know, we just kept pushing week after week, even though we were like, what are we going to talk about? I don't think we're ever really lost for words. I don't think we're ever really lost for words when it comes to talking about treats, business, and life, because that's kind of like our platform. And that too was organically created. Um,
Yeah,
we
we
can
just
talk.
was talking.
We can definitely talk.
Just
We
was
definitely
talking
can
one day,
talk.
and it came out. It was like, I like that. That sounds good. Treats, business, and life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a pretty broad
Um,
subject.
mhm. It's broad, yes, but we stay focused on it. We don't really deviate from, those parameters.
Yeah.
But I think that, there's definitely improvements that we
Thank you,
could
Tira.
do. Oh, you see, hi,
She
Tier.
said, "Congrats,
Tiara.
congrats on your 1 year anniversary." I was
Oh,
just telling her, "Thank you."
thank you. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. It's definitely been something that I never thought that I was going to do. And it's just like poof, happened. I
Right.
think that when um, we tried to just go with the flow. And that probably has been good for us, but then maybe again, it's been kind of like our detriment, maybe in a little way, because we can go on and on about something and let me tell you this, audience. I had to learn, and just through the feedback that I received from those closest to me, that I was coming across aloof, know it all. Um, what else?
Leave it
That
to
I was over talking. Huh?
leave it to family members to get you like together real quick. They was like, "Girl, act
Right.
like you know what you're talking about on the show."
But they're not really, we try to be engaging every week on here. And sometimes it was tough. It was tough coming on. It was tough. We would do it at, oh my gosh, late at night,
The
10 and 12
strangest
o'clock at
hours.
night. We've done it at
If
7
we are
a.m. in the
like
morning.
if we are like giggling excessively, it was a
Yes,
late night
yes.
video, okay? If we're not giggling excessively, then it was a early morning video. But we stuck to it. We stuck to the
We
vision.
sure did, Taylor, didn't we? We stuck to it. Um, but yeah, so it's been really one of those things where I'm glad that I met Taylor, and her family are just, accepted me wholeheartedly, and I really appreciate that. It just really talks to who Taylor is and how she is a part of her family and how they support her in her endeavors. So it's really nice to know somebody like Taylor, and not just blowing her up, but I needed a space where I could talk business. And, she was the perfect fit. You know, Not saying that everybody around me aren't entrepreneurs, but I needed a little bit more. I needed a little bit more. And Taylor was that fit for me.
Oh, Tabla, don't make me cry. No,
I know, right? Where'd that come from?
I
Where'd that
know.
come
Don't happen so fast. No, but yes, thank you for being yourself, thank you for being
Yeah.
authentic, thank you for allowing me to be myself. Okay, that's one
Hmm.
of the great things about meeting someone new. You are just be yourself from the beginning. Don't be trying to be nobody else. Okay, I was always like
I
this.
can only be me. I can only
I'm
be me.
gonna be myself. I smile. I don't think anything's wrong with smiling. Some people just have
Nope.
the mean mug, but everything's gonna be okay. You gotta
Yeah.
smile. You gotta smile to keep from crying. And when it came to editing these podcasts, I was about to cry for the first couple weeks, but
Oh,
we got it together. Thank you. Thank
editing
you.
is a whole nother life.
It takes a while.
It's
I
a whole
found
nother
it's
life.
easier to edit audio. I mean to edit video than it is to edit audio. But one thing about
Yeah.
podcasting that people never really tell you is how much storage it's gonna take up. the memory, all of the graphics, all of the design. Tamla does a great job with the graphics. Um, on the
Try.
platform that she
Thank you.
uses, they all look very professional and well put together. And
Thank
we just,
you.
yeah, we're just growing and we're learning, and happy
Yeah,
she has been her authentic self as well.
cool. You want to talk about the platforms that we use, the the
No, I'm
many
not telling nobody
platforms and
nothing
apps,
else. No,
you
I'm
know?
just my phone
You
is
got to
filled
come to
with
one of our
apps,
master
okay?
classes for that.
We're
Master
gonna have to
class?
do
Let's do a master
something.
class on that.
We're gonna have to do something cool, something a
Yeah.
master class. A master class sound make you sound like you like super, you got it together. I mean, we be doing good, but I
Well,
don't know if we like layers on layers good. No, we
yeah, I
probably
mean, we
we
do.
good.
We
We
really
good.
get into the weeds of things. My
It could
friend
be a lot.
Michael.
It could
Hi,
be a lot.
Michael.
It could
Huh?
be a lot. It could be a lot with
Hmm.
podcasting, with
Hey,
learning and all that.
Michael. Happy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a little bit of a delay, so I don't mean to talk over you.
Oh, it's okay. You were saying hi to
So,
Michael.
yeah.
It's MJ
Yeah,
Michael.
my friend. Yeah, he's my friend from, and don't say it, Michael. I know it. Don't even put it in the comments. I don't
What?
even do it, okay? I
What do
know
you get to
you.
say, Michael?
No.
I want to know what Michael about to say now. That ain't fair.
I don't
I
know.
want to
I don't
know.
care. I don't care if he puts it in there or not. But anyway, he's one of my early, definitely one of my early supporters of Torlitas. And he knows I've been doing this forever. I've been doing Torlitas since the year 2000. I took it to, I had a dream. This is how it all began. I had a dream about tortilla chips and peaches. And I was like, I woke up, I was like, that does not sound right. And then I was like, what about with chocolate? So this is well before all the salt and sweet craze had hit, right? So I went down to my kitchen and I put together some ingredients, tortilla chips, chocolate, and I had something else on, I don't know what all it was now. And I had different tortilla chips that I use. I use corn, yellow corn, I use white corn, I use this, I use that. And I took it into work the next day. And actually, I had was with a roommate at the time, and he really enjoyed. He said, "These are really good," you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, they was pretty good." So I took it into work the next day, and I shared it with my coworkers, and they all loved it. And they said, "You really should do a business with this." This is the year 2000, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "I ain't leaving my job."
Now you gotta have a job and a side hustle to like
You
survive
really
in
do.
life. But like 20
Hmm.
years ago, 21 years ago, you could have probably just got away with just having a regular job. But now you gotta have extra.
Yeah, you
Everything
gotta
costs
have
money.
extra, and that's just me. I've always been entrepreneurial, so it was a no brainer for me. But I just really was servicing family and friends. But enough about me and Torlitas. Definitely it's about Pamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. But I just want to let them know a little bit about me if they haven't started from the very first episode of Tamala and Taylor's back in December 8th of 2020 during the trying
Pandemic.
times of America and the world. We'll just say that. We won't say the word
The,
because we
the
want it to
trying.
keep going forward.
Oh
The
yeah.
trying time.
Going well. Going well. During that trying
Yeah.
time. Hmm.
So here's a
Well,
question,
it's
Taylor.
good.
I'm sorry. Here's a question. What did you like about this collaboration? Where is some areas maybe that you grew or an area that you grew in?
Mhm.
Or what would you do differently? Maybe any of those questions.
I think an area that I grew in is just being just public speaking. Like I said, it is like a very much a miracle for me to have been on this live video and talking this long, because normally I like to
Okay.
talk, but we do the way that we do our podcasts, none of them are live, and so I'm just talking to you, and that makes it very much easier. Um, I don't normally like to talk in public, and so I have
Hmm.
grown in that area very much to be able to speak, um, and
Very
be
good.
able to, yeah, voice my opinion on different areas. So I've grown a lot in that area over the past year. I keep referring back to that first episode, but like I was literally like a wreck. But
I really couldn't tell. I mean, maybe your family or friends could tell, but I didn't know
yeah,
you from, just like talking briefly to you to say, hey, how about this? How about that? Um, but I didn't think you did horrible.
yeah. Well, as you know, people who know you best, they give it to you. They give it to you openly and honestly
Oh, yes.
about
Oh, yeah.
about about things that's going on. So I think that would be the area that I've grown in the most. We've been pretty consistent on this podcast. We're putting out episodes every Tuesday. So I would say we've been in growth as far as like speech, public speaking, talking to you guys, being consistent with demos and actually putting the
Mm-hmm.
podcast out. Um, yeah, that's been my
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing, getting everything edited and uploaded in the pattern of that, while still running the business,
Yeah,
amongst all of the other things that I do. Yeah, that's been
absolutely.
that's been it for me. Tira said, how did you two meet to start collaborating on the podcast? Me and Tamala are part or we're part of a group for entrepreneurs. It wasn't specifically female because it's male and female entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
in the group.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things about it is that they ask you to try to find somebody that you might like be in the same career career path as, or have like similarities with. And at the time, there was nobody else in the group that I seen that were really doing desserts. I had put up that I am a baker, and Tim was like, "Hey, I do chips and I do confectionery," and so that is how we met. We met
Mm-hmm.
based on that group. So that was one good thing that has come out of it. It was a group for us to learn and grow in the area of entrepreneurship. And yeah, that's how we met. I mean, thoughts about that?
No, that's you hit it, the nail on the head with that. I think that had we not stretched, and it was a
Yeah,
stretch, it was a stretch. Had we
it
not
was.
stretched to join this entrepreneurial group, I don't think I would have known Taylor. Maybe along the way,
Yeah.
but from the level that been able to grow our prospective businesses, grow in skill building, grow in editing in this tech world that we're in now, that everybody's probably going to be in before it's all said and done with. I think any of those skills can be transferable to even grow your business even more, because we just didn't do technical things. We talked about how to grow your business. We talked about, reaching out to your state agencies, your chamber of commerces, and it really goes to a lot of people. A lot of women
Hmm.
are a little bit more shy than maybe our male counterparts in asking for, hey, I got this business idea and I need some assistance to run it, or here's the idea, and how can you help me run this business? And you go downtown
Yeah.
or uptown or wherever your town is to get those resources, and they're there. I mean, that's why you're a taxpayer. If you are a taxpayer, I don't know, whatever you do, but that's what they're there for, to assist businesses to grow, because if you grow, they grow. And we both were sharing, our expertise. We just started sharing our expertise, and we give it away freely every week. So,
Yeah. So that's how we met. That's how all of this has came to be. And it's just been a great journey. I think can't wait for what is to come. It's been very
Mm-hmm.
nice. Pamela is one of the
Mm-hmm.
sweetest person,
Oh,
people.
people,
One of
persona,
the
personality,
persona, one of the
shell.
sweetest personas I shall have ever met. No, that was like the worst English ever, but she's a really cool person. Okay. That's what
Yeah.
you need to get
Thank
out.
you for saying
She's a
that.
cool person. And all of that talk about the economic developments and all of the business aspects. She is a wealth of walking knowledge, and I think that is awesome, especially for someone like me who is nervous about going to talk to people. She has really helped me out in that area, and so it has been great. Great, 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 great. You two are a
So as
perfect match
far
for
as
being business partners. Definitely balance each other out. Love that for both of you. Aw,
thank you,
thanks.
Tiara.
You're such a
I
kind
got a
person.
question. So yeah. It's nice. And thank you for joining us here because, we don't go on live often, and that's something we're going to improve in 2022 because
Already.
as we're taught, we're supposed to do it often.
Yes, yes.
Have we done it?
No, no, not. No.
We have not. We have not, but that's definitely on our books to do in the coming year.
Yeah.
Um, this is a question for you, Taylor. Of our demonstrations or of the shows, our demos that our podcasts that we do,
Hmm.
what do you enjoy most? What is your best podcast? Maybe I should ask you that.
Um, what is my best podcast? I really appreciate the podcast that we did with um JJ Sweet Treats, and I appreciate the
Oh,
podcast that we did with Portia Kimball because I feel like those were guests that have already reached a level that I'm striving to be at, and they are awesome women who do a lot, who I can learn from, and I feel like those two were my favorite as far as like business. Um,
mm-hmm.
but all of our guests were wonderful. I
Mm-hmm. They
appreciate
really
all of
were.
them for taking the time to come on and talk with us. Um, one one thing that I also like about a lot is the one we did with the pop up kit.
Oh
So that people
yes,
can
the
know,
emergency pop-up
yeah,
kit. Yeah,
the emergency pop up shop. For
yeah.
this year, I have done lots of pop up shops, way more than I have ever done in the past, and it's been great to like get some like notoriety from the community and be able to take on more orders and do things like that. And so the emergency pop up
Uh-huh.
list was really like super cool. Uh, if you guys
All
haven't
right.
checked that out,
Hold
you
on,
could check
Taylor.
it out.
I think it's getting a little pixelated because you're moving, so I don't know if it's that way for everybody, but it just gets a little pixelated.
Oh, okay,
So,
I'll try to stop
yeah.
moving.
Oh, I mean, I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but I try to stay like like a
Yeah,
stone because I don't want it to mess up the Wi-Fi and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
sorry. Yeah, so that was my favorite. What were two of your favorite episodes that we did this year?
Um, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I enjoyed everything we did because I think we give so much information that I think that why aren't people just jumping on the stuff that we're telling them, I
Yeah.
enjoyed our guest. I'll tell you what I enjoyed our guest, Shannon Morgan, who was
Oh, the
um,
author,
um
Shannon Morgan,
yeah,
the
the
author.
author. What was her book called? Something for
Don't
Pearls.
get
I'm
me,
sorry.
don't
Huh?
get me to lying, but I love the fact that she came on. I love the poem that she
Yeah.
read. I love the authenticity of her. I think, uh,
Yes.
what is it called? I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna look up the name while you keep telling us what you
Okay,
like
yeah,
about it.
please do, because we want to give her a
Called
due.
Pearls from My Heart.
Um,
Pearls from My Heart.
Pearls from my heart, yes, and she is a chef by trade. And
Mm-hmm.
over the past, she says she's always had a book in her, and she finally wrote a book of poems, and they're really, really heart touching and really of the time. And it just kind of
Yeah.
just poured out. I think she wrote it in record time. It was nothing for her just to write it. But I really enjoyed Shannon. I enjoyed FedRAF designs with the cookie cutters, the custom cookie cutters.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they were really spectacular. I enjoy, of course, Portia, who's been on, national, international television, and for her to stop by and talk to little old us, you know what I mean, quote unquote, little old us, and it was all it took was a slide in the DMs, in the direct message,
Right.
just to ask if she would, and that's what I think a lot of people don't realize is that this technology stuff is real and people,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, just about everybody are on it. Either people love it or hate it.
Yeah.
But
True.
sometimes all it takes is a direct message to
Mm-hmm.
somebody and just ask them questions. I know that someone I know wants to ask you a question, Taylor. I said, well, just, email her or, send her
Yeah.
a message, about it was something related to baking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, she's easy to talk to. She'll be glad to help you out. So I'm not sure if it happened or not, but definitely,
It hasn't happened yet.
it's something okay, cool. All right. So yeah, so Portia Kimball, who had, like I said, a national, international platform, and she took the time out to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Jay's Sweet Treats, who has two stores now here in Columbus, Ohio. And she and her daughter, I can't remember the daughter's name, but they came on and talked to us like we were somebody on national, on a national platform. So it goes to show that one, that we are both entrepreneurs, but also in a professional way, that we can talk to people. It's not, you don't have to, we didn't have to put on any airs. That's what I'm trying to say. We didn't have to put on any airs in order to connect with these professional entrepreneurs in their
Yeah.
baking or in their profession. So those are things that I remember most. And of course, our demos. Our demos are, what, how can I say what our demos? Our
I
demos
don't
are,
know what Tamla about to
they're great,
Okay. All right.
but
Okay.
there are some mistakes that you have to do it all over again. And that's not fun. But one thing that I want to improve on is creating, maybe even doing a live demonstration with my product. That's one of the things I want to do in the new year.
Yeah.
And maybe it's something that our audience say, I can maybe give them two or three choices to say, hey, do you want this or that, on the demonstration, and maybe we can try to engage our audience more. So yeah,
I think
I've
those are
talked a long
all
time.
I think those are all very good points. I appreciate the fact that you took the time to come on here because we was trying to get you, man. We was trying to get you. I don't know what was going on, but it all
I
worked out.
think I know what happened. So food for thought.
All right. Well, with that being said, this was just a time for us to come on here and to say hello and introduce you guys to what we do. We are Tamla and Taylor, and we have a Treat Talk Tuesday podcast where we talk to you about treats, business, and life. We have episodes that we upload on our YouTube channel every Tuesday, and we also upload to anchor.fm if you guys would like to just listen to the podcast that way without seeing the visuals. However, we do demos twice a month. One I do and one Tamla does. And so we want you guys to be able to watch those and enjoy them. And if you happen to want to make something that you have seen us make, it might just be in a cookbook. We did our first volume of the
Yes.
Street Talk Tuesday podcast cookbook this year.
So
I told you guys,
exciting.
yeah, I told you guys a little bit about that earlier. And so, if you want to check it out, we talked about some of the recipes that we have had in there. We talked about lots of things. So, um, if you want to check it out, until midnight tonight, we have a bundle where I wrote an individual cookbook called The Power of Simple Syrup, and Tamala wrote a book called Five Fun Treats That You Can Do for Christmas. And so if you get that tonight, you can have the bundle of all three cookbooks, which is the value of more than $70 for only $47. So hopefully you guys
Yeah.
take the time to check that out. Check out our YouTube page, Tamla and Taylor Street Talk Tuesday.
Share. Yeah.
Share, like, comment. We really appreciate Tira for coming on and asking us questions and being the lovely person that she is. And thank you, Tamla, for being consistent and sticking with me for almost one whole year.
Oh, absolutely, Taylor. I think that it's going out a little bit, but hold on. I'm going to put the um, link in the comments where people can go
Okay.
and purchase their copy. And that's three books. First one is the collab that we did together, is the
Thank you.
podcast Desserts, which I think is, it really turned out really nice.
Yeah.
I'm really happy the way it turned out with the pictures, the 12 business tips that we put in there, the table of contents I really like. There's a bonus recipe in there, so I'm really excited about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Tira. She said that you guys are awesome. You are awesome as well. We thank you and just want you guys to have a great night. Get some rest. We will see you
Yes.
when we see you. Bye.
And onward. Bye
Oh,
bye. Peace
sorry.
out.